What is going on, guys? Rewinds here, and in this video we are going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 95. So I did say in my last Dragon Ball Super video that I was going to make an effort to talk about these Dragon Ball Super manga chapters more, regardless of them, right now being more focused on this retelling. So, yeah, my interest definitely went down in it a little bit the last few months because it is a retelling. But there have been some changes month to month, but it just hasn't been, I would say, super significant to the point where you don't know what's going to be happening in the grand scheme of things. So let's talk about the chapter, though. It was still, this month, happened to be a pretty enjoyable chapter, compared to some of the other ones we've been getting. Not to say that they were bad or anything. Like, I really liked the content a lot in Dragon Ball Super Superhero. It's just that Dragon Ball Super has a monthly manga, and we're going to be getting this retelling practically almost a whole year. So that's why it's a little disappointing that our monthly chapter kind of goes to something we've already seen. But we're making do with it. So let's discuss. So the chapter kicks off with Krillin getting a call from the police force from his chief, which I think her name is Nuts. Chief Nuts. And no, I'm not joking. That's actually her name. So this is a new addition to the manga that we didn't get to see in the movie. So Krillin's getting the call, and pretty much they're being told about the Red Ribbon Army's whereabouts. And at this moment, he's with 18 and Marin, and they just walked out of the movies. I do want to point out that Marin has aged, and I'm glad to see that, which makes sense because Goten and Trunks have aged too. But I just like seeing new characters' designs. New character designs in general of characters, aging up as the shows go on. I think it's cool to see. So, it's cool to see Marin a bit older, and 18 has like a different hairstyle too now, so that's something to point out as well. And after Krillin gets that news, 18 is questioning who the woman was that he was speaking to, kinda as if she was a little suspicious, maybe a little bit jealous. I know some people were making a big deal out of that. I personally not too bothered by that in terms of writing, because 18's always kind of had that more so serious tone when kind of needed. And in this case, I'm kind of just seeing it more as she's grown into the fact that she loves Krillin so much now that, it might bother her a little bit. Maybe she didn't feel the same necessarily like way back, but I think of course if Krillin left her to go to another woman's woman in general, that's the better way to phrase it, 18 would definitely not be happy. So yeah, I'm not too bothered by it, but 18 decides to tag along with Krillin, and Krillin is going to be going to investigate this. So pretty much this is how they're going to end up on the battle scene. And then after that, pretty much the rest of the chapter is Gohan and Piccolo fighting against the Gammas. So I'm going to break that down a little bit real quick. I do want to say we start off with Ultimate Gohan, because that's how the last chapter ended, and we get that versus Gamma 1. And Gohan, for a couple pages, is dominating, really winning in terms of power. But since the Gammas have so much energy, Gohan's not really getting anywhere, even though he's stronger now. And of course, as Gohan's fighting on, he's going to tire himself out while the Gammas still have more energy. We do get some dialogue where Gamma 1 is claiming that Gohan is evil, but Gohan refutes that claim by telling him, "Aren't you the evil ones for kidnapping a child?" And that kind of hits home a little bit, and they start questioning themselves. After that, Gamma 2 tries jumping in because he sees Gamma 1 struggling in terms of power. And as he's trying to jump in, Piccolo jumps in himself outside of his red ribbon suit, and he actually shows us his potential Unleashed form now. So pretty much his version of Ultimate Gohan right there. And another little thing that happens is, as the fight's going on, both of these, we do see Piccolo have the upper hand at the beginning. Of course, they got to showcase his new form and his new power-up, and they're doing that for a little bit. And meanwhile, we have Gohan still fighting Gamma 1, and Gamma 1 actually tells him that he has 82% energy left. Now, I'm not 100% on this, but I could have sworn in the movie it was 81. Just a very minor little change, but just something I just instantly caught just because I remembered it from the movie. Unless my memory's wrong, but little detail. And then after that, we move on back to Game of 2 versus Piccolo, and now Game of 2 has the upper hand on Piccolo. So we had that going on next, and I do want to say in general, the overall choreography was really nice. I really enjoyed the panel work, the choreography was pretty cool, and overall the art in general is just nice. But I mean, you guys know what it is. Toyotaro's been really great on that end for a while now. Like, I would say since the Moral arc and on, he's really stepped up his game arc by arc on that end. So cool stuff to see. And then pretty much what happens is Gohan and Piccolo end up making a all-out push, but that's to no avail because they weren't able to deliver a big enough blow to destroy them, even though they were getting some nice hits in, because, you know, the Gammas have practically unlimited energy, or like a very high reserve of energy. So that happens. So then the Gammas decide they want to 2-on-1 somebody, so they make it seem like one's charging at Gohan and one's charging at Piccolo, but they actually team up and both attack Piccolo together. So as that happens, Piccolo's getting bombarded with a little bit of attacks, but then Gohan steps back in and stops one of the Gammas. And, you know, towards the end of the chapter, Piccolo's now talking to Gamma 2, and he's saying it's a shame that, you know, the Gammas are acting like this because they don't seem bad, but are following quote-unquote idiotic orders. And this is kind of, you know, leading us more to the point where the Gammas are starting to realize, like, there may have been some sort of manipulation here. Not necessarily by Dr. Hedo, but more so by Magenta. So pretty much to close the chapter, you know, Gamma 2 is in denial, and he kind of gets like that little rage moment, rage boost, and he hits Piccolo's a few times in a row and gets some big hits in. And this is kind of where it feels like, okay, Piccolo's ultimate unleashed form now, or his potential unleashed form now, is going to be defeated. But right then, Piccolo awakens his new transformation that we saw in the movie, Orange Piccolo, and that is how we wrap up the chapter. So all in all, I still enjoyed this chapter for what it was. If this was completely new content, I would give this chapter easily a 9 or more. 9, maybe even a 10, because I love the content of this. But just because of the fact that it's a retelling, I gotta factor that in just because it personally doesn't excite me as much. So that impacts my rating. But I do want to give the chapter some props for adding in the Krillin and 18 moments at the beginning, just, you know, to show how they got word anyway of Gohan and Piccolo fighting here. And Krillin also, by the way, sensed Gohan's energy. I forgot to point that out earlier, but that also happened. I also liked how Gamma 1 and 2 fought Gohan and Piccolo. In this version, it felt like a longer fight. Choreography was really nice. Art was nice. Everything on the regular production end for the chapter, as well as everything that happened, I enjoyed. It's really just the fact that I kind of knew what was going to happen, you know, that's holding my rating back here. But despite all of that of, like, you know, knowing it was retelling, I'm going to give the chapter some props. I'm going to still give it a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. Definitely one of the better chapters for this retelling. And to be honest, I'm hoping they wrap this up soon, but I got a feeling we're not going to get that till at least around chapter 98, if not more. But next month, hopefully, you know, we make some good progress going forward. I know we're going to get to see Orange Piccolo in action a little more. And then after that, I think next month we should get everybody arriving in at least the awakening of Cell Max. And then that's probably going to carry over to chapter 97, where they'll probably defeat Cell Max. Or maybe at the end of 97, we'll have Gohan awake his beast form. So that's what I'm thinking right now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But I hope you guys did enjoy this review of the Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 95. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. But be sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. And as always, I hope you guys had a good day or night whenever you guys are watching this video. I'm Rewinds, and I'm out.